Hello my friends, Late Boy Scout here. I recently got a private message from a new YouTuber who's making great content, but he's just starting out, and he wanted to know how to grow his audience. As I started to write back to him, I realized that what I was telling him could be useful to many more people out there. So, on the second anniversary of my first YouTube video, and after about 300 uploads and more than 6,000 subscribers since then, I'd like to share some of what I've learned and how I got here. I still remember how flattered and amazed I was that people actually watched my first few videos. To date, I'm still pretty surprised that I have an audience at all. It has been some work to get to where I'm at, but it's always been enjoyable. Many YouTube channels have had far greater success than me in much less time, mostly because their content is just far better. With the limited success I've had, I want to share what I think are the keys to growing your audience if you're just getting started. Number 1, provide consistent, quality content. Number 2, show lots of appreciation to others for their content. Number 3, stick with it and don't take your success for granted. Expanding on that first point, I usually record several videos all in a row. Maybe once every other week or every week sometimes, and then I'll upload those videos over time. That way I can dedicate a good amount of time to editing, but also fulfill my many real-world obligations. I do plenty of retakes, and sometimes completely disregard videos I don't like to keep quality up. I try to let my personality and humor come through. That goes a long way, but I also try to stay on point as I speak so I don't bore anyone. Also, I try to keep things short when I can and always thank my audience. Being controversial, radical, crude, etc. is a method lots of people use to get views, and sometimes it really works. I choose not to do that because I don't think it's sustainable. Also, it's just not me. As you continue to provide good content, let your audience grow organically, and it will. Using programs and whatnot to grow your subscriber base or get artificial views may work in the short term, but again, I don't think that's sustainable, so I've stayed away from all of that. Don't underestimate good titles and thumbnails. Some marginally helpful videos out there are very popular because of the title and the thumbnail. Expanding on the second point, when you're just starting out, you need to get your name out there. Subscribe to tons of channels that are similar to yours. Watch and comment on their content. Send sincere, personal, private messages occasionally. And try to build some friendships. Networking is a huge part of building your own subscriber base. As they get to know you and get a taste for your content, they'll subscribe and your audience will grow. Expanding on the third point, be patient and persevere. Try not to do too much too fast or you'll burn out. Really love what you're talking about, or you'll eventually stop. Ultimately, you just have to stick with it. If you can keep it up past 3 months, you'll probably make it to 6. If you can keep it up for over a year, you may never want to stop. Once you make partner, you'll have added incentive, which may make this a self-sustaining hobby, but try to keep doing it because you love it. Your audience can tell if you don't. Never take your audience for granted. Also, subscription numbers don't mean much if you can't keep your view count up. For instance, only 10 to 20% of my subscribers actually watch my videos. That's higher for some and lower for others, but fairly typical of many channels. Realize your subs are people. They're not obligated to watch, and they've got other things to do too. So thank them when they do watch. Don't assume they'll watch whatever you throw out there, or that they need to be constantly updated on your personal life. I call my audience friends, but I realize most of them are not. It's really more of a business relationship. And when they stop getting what they came for, they'll stop coming. Lastly, in regard to negative comments, It's better to just delete and block someone if they're being an outright troll. Don't engage with them at all. At the same time, challenging, disagreeing comments can sometimes propel the discussion and enrich the learning experience for all. So try to see the kernel of sincerity in the comments, and don't just get offended by it. Once again, I want to thank all of you for watching for the past 2 years, for subscribing. I hope the next 2 years will be just as fun for all of us. I'm the Late Boy Scout. See you on the next one.